Now in Germany, thousands of farmers gathered yesterday in Berlin to show their disapproval of proposed new agricultural policies. Mapitso Sabidi spoke to DW's political correspondent at our partners DW, Emmanuel Shays, who attended the protest yesterday.
Why are German farmers protesting now?
Well, they want to be heard. They are strongly against the new environmental and agricultural policy packages proposed by the government, and they feel that the government is not listening to their concern. Now, you have to bear in mind that yesterday in Berlin there were more than 5,000 tractors across the city blocking traffic, and more than 10,000 farmers who gathered solely through social media, not through farmers' unions, through a movement called Countryside Connect. They've been protesting for months now, for a couple of months now, but that is the biggest protest to date. They're concerned that the government is not hearing them out. They're concerned that the whole agricultural sector here in Germany could collapse if from one day to the next they won't be allowed to use pesticides anymore or fertilizers anymore as part of new environmental measures taken by the government.
Now, is the government listening to these protesters?
Well, yesterday, for example, two ministers came to talk to the crowd. First, Environment Minister Svenja Schulze came, and she got quite a frosty reception by the crowd, because she basically told the farmers who were there that they had to accept that they had to change their way of making the agricultural sector work here in this country. She said that the government would implement the new environmentally friendly measures in the agricultural sector, and she didn't really have a very conciliatory tone, and she was booed off the stage. Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Julia Klöckner showed much more understanding towards the farmers' concerns, and she said that any measure before being implemented would be discussed with them. But at the higher level, German Chancellor Angela Merkel urged the farmers to respond to changing times. She will actually receive them at the Chancellery on December the 2nd. She will see 40 representatives of the farming sector here in Germany.
All right, now modern farming, for example, the use of pesticides is often in conflict with environmental concerns. Do the farmers have proposals to address that?
They don't really have proposals, but they don't want either to be seen as the villains in the story. They don't want to be the scapegoats here. They understand the environmental concerns, and they would be ready to take measures. Only those measures proposed at the moment just suggest that they would have to stop using the products they're currently using on their soils, and they don't see how this is feasible without governmental help, without more subventions. And they fear that in changing the way the agricultural sector functions in this country at the moment, they fear that importations will take over, and they fear that the whole agricultural sector would collapse if the government doesn't propose an alternative.
All right, before I let you go, how much support do the farmers have?
Well, they have a fairly good support. Many consumers actually understand their plight, but just as Agricultural Minister Julia Klöckner said yesterday, the consumers also have to understand that if they do want indeed a more local, a more regional agriculture, then they have to be ready to put the price and to pay a higher amount of money for local products.
All right, thank you so much. That is our political correspondent with DW, Emmanuel Shays.